Hello, hello. Excuse me. I'm really phlegmy today. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Dee Dee. Oh gosh, I'm gonna sneeze already. Hold on. Oh, that was a loud one. Are you all awake now? Bless you, thank you. As Ranger called me out, I have a pot of coffee with me today. Cause I was laying down with the cats before stream started, and I very nearly did not get up. Just, just one of those sleepy day energies. Hang on, I gotta blow my nose. Alright, we're good. How's everybody's Wednesday going? I nearly said Thursday. See, streaming on a Monday throws me all out of whack now. I can't keep the days of the week straight. That's okay. I'm off tomorrow from the apothecary, so technically I don't know if we're gonna do a longer UMINEKO stream today to finish the chapter. We might not need it. We might. We'll see. We'll see. That's the benefit of me having to drink coffee anyway. I'm like, well, if it's gonna keep me up, we might as well make the most of it. ASMR as I pour my coffee. Yum, 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 yum. I've gotten back into doing the pour over for a while. I was just doing instant coffee because I was tired of grinding the beans and all that stuff, but pour over coffee really does taste the best, I gotta say. If you don't like coffee because of the taste, you might like pour over depending on the blend. Because some don't taste bitter, more so they taste acidic. It all depends on the beans. But yes, hello Zon, hello Ranger, hello Ein. It is the UMINEKO time. No work today, so I was just chilling. Excellent. I've just been a potato for the past couple days, so yeah, similarly, not a ton to talk about, but that's okay. As they say, sometimes no news is good news. Meant I actually got to catch part of a spooky stream today, which was nice. It's been a while. I like tea and hot chocolate, coffee not for me, but what about mocha? What about cafe mocha, where it's hot chocolate and espresso? What about that? That doesn't even taste like coffee. That's how I... does it still have caffeine, though? It does. Because it has espresso in it. But I mean... does it still have caffeine, though? But tea has caffeine unless you get it decaffeinated. If your issue is caffeine, then it's not the coffee's fault. There's decaf coffee. And even then, decaffeinated tea and coffee, it's not 100% caffeine-free. I don't like decaf, and you've actually tried that one? Decaf coffee? Yeah. That was my problem for a long time. You have to find the right type. But yeah, decaffeinated anything isn't 100% caffeine free because it's very difficult to completely extract the caffeine out of that stuff because tea and coffee plants have that naturally. It's not like they add it in, like sugar or something. So you can only get rid of so much, especially since caffeine adds to the flavor flavor profile. Good grief. First day with a rent in the mouth, as Mama Melis would say. I'm planning on playing UMINEKO tonight. What a terrible idea. What could possibly go wrong when I can't even say profile? What could possibly go wrong? Everything. Absolutely everything. But yes, we should hopefully finish chapter 3 today. We were like kind of in the middle of a scene. Because I realized, I'm like, oh shit. Suddenly we're like marathon running towards the end of the chapter. And there isn't probably going to be a good place to stop pacing-wise. So we're just going to stop right here. How did the day go? Day went pretty good. I'm technically not on vacation yet, but I've been feeling really drained the past couple days, so I took 2 sick days, so I technically... I'm gonna have a week off from being in the apothecary. I was talking to Iduna later, I'm like, I need to take more vacation days, and that's a reminder for you too. We're both terrible at using our vacation days. It's like, we need to be better about that. Because even if you don't think you need it, you probably do. And if you don't take it, your body will decide for you. Just like it did for me today. Because, yeah, you can't easily recover from burnout. People think, you know, you just need to take, like, you know, a weekend off to recover from burnout. Nah, they did the science. Apparently, it takes weeks of active effort to recover from burnout. So better just not to end up in that situation at all. You gotta take care of yourselves, being self-care. But yeah, otherwise I was just, oh, shoot. I'm getting distracted by the Discord. I was trying to minimize some stuff. Okay. My brain just blanked on me. Dial tone. Doo. Yes, self-care. Take care of yourselves, beans. Don't be like Dee Dee. Some of you are better at this than others. I'm looking at you, insomniacs. One of those days, honestly. I was just playing gacha games last night. Well, not last night, sorry, today, technically. Cause Genshin just updated last night, and as part of the update, there's new story. Plus, there's a new part of the region that unlocked, so there's a new part of the map. A new map means new puzzles, new side quests, so it's like, it's very easy to get sidetracked. I'm like, oh yeah! I'm like, I'm just gonna... Because I did get Columbina, who is the new character, and some of the materials to unlock her are in the new area. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go in here and pick some flowers, and next thing you know, it's been like 2 hours and I'm knee-deep in some quest. It's like, oh... My goodness! Sexu, hello! you doing? Can finally throw this at Ranger. Hey! Those smoke bombs are to help get away from enemies, not to throw at each other. Don't throw them at each other. Because if you get any of the residue on yourself, who's gonna have to clean that? Me! Stay away, devil. You know how sometimes people will spray cats with the water bottle to make them stop doing something? I'm just imagining the moonbeams getting hit by, like a weed killer. Just, no. Yes, do not throw these things at each other. No, we haven't had to send anyone to the dark corner in a while. Do we? I don't think anyone wants to go back into the corner. Remembering us talking about lore and stuff, and we were like, oh yeah. Oh no. So, smart detection. Lol. So, Zexu spelled Ranger's name wrong, and the auto mod held it, thinking it was something bad. Encore? We don't have one of those. The hilarious thing is that since Ranger is now a mod, he can technically banish himself. I walk away for 2 minutes, literally. Mistakes have been made. I'm gonna disappear! No! No disappearing! Sadness! Mods can't be timed out! I'm sorry. There is just something so hilarious about that. Oh my god. Who are we even gonna use that redeem on anymore? It was always Ranger Gate sent to the Shadow Realm. So you got scammed? You didn't read the terms and conditions first. I mean, I guess Ranger could voluntarily not speak for 10 minutes, but... You mean 5, sorry. You're right, it's 5. Next random person might be cooked. Incredible. The last time it was 10, I was actually in trouble. Oh no. The funny part is, even though you could get the points back, it's still on cooldown the rest of the stream, yeah. No bow to the Shadow Realm. What is this coin shop? It ain't money, buddy. You didn't pay bits for it. Calm down. You played yourself. If you used bits, I could understand actually being... being like, this was a scam! But it's not. Oh, so 5 gifted right now, I get to time out someone? That is not what I said. That is not what I said. Let me know if you hear the gulls. I think if I remember correctly, my mixer doesn't like, yeah, I can see it's not picking anything up. Okay. Hold on 1 second then. My mixer doesn't like whatever the UMINEKO game launches in, so I have to do it this way. Hang on. Do. No, it's not that one. It is this one. There we go. Now we should have seagulls. I'm just asking questions for the systems. If you gift 5 subs, I will bake you a cookie. And then write your name on it. Yes, we hear the burbs. Excellent. The burbs. All right. Just give me 1 sec. I can hear Mogu screaming. I'm just making sure that she didn't lock herself in a closet or something. She's done that before. So 1 sec. And then we shall UMINEKO. Alright, we're good. The 5 community subs. Okay, alrighty. I'll make you a cookie. Incredible. Alrighty. That's good. Okay. All the audio stuff should be good. Big stretch. Alrighty. Always good. I just have... Mogu is just being Mogu. The litter boxes need to get changed, so she's just expressing her dislike. It's like, I'm sorry! I was waiting until, you know... I was off work, because... when I clean the litter boxes, then I also have to clean the bathtub, because the only place I have to clean the litter boxes is the bathtub. And obviously I'm not going to take a shower without cleaning the bathtub after cleaning the litter boxes in there. So it turns into a whole day affair, because it's like, it's not just cleaning the litter boxes, I gotta clean the bathroom too. Alrighty. Boom. Bing. Boom. Almost clicked episode 3. Mistakes. Mistakes were nearly made. Frog wow emote. I love that. Alright, so that's January 8th. I do believe that is our newest one. It is. Okay. And now we've got thunder and lightning. Very, very frightening. With some wind and some grand orchestral music. Alright. I'll teach her the names of the Golden Witch. Isn't that cheap? Yes, so Battler is challenging Ava Bieto to a showdown. Because he's sick and tired of her being a freak and just torturing people. And Bieto, like our normal Beatrice, also kind of redeemed herself a bit. Because she put a lot of effort into helping Jessica and Kanon, so. Alright, those are the general rules. Thank you, Rona. I get most of the rules now. I see. Oh, hang on one sec. I don't know if it's loud for you guys, but it's kind of loud for me, so I'm just cranking it down a smidge. There we go. I got sensitive little ears. I don't like things being too loud. You can't win with magic, so you came to face off with me in a world where victory is decided by something other than magic. Foolish people. Do you really think you can win against me with twisted logic? Yeah, I do. I'll crush all of your twisted logic, Aunt Ava. I am not Ava. That is the name of the old shell I shed. Sounds like Cell from Dragon Ball. I am a true witch, born inside of her. Don't try to trick me. Your true form isn't a witch or anything like it, but a flesh and blood human. You're just a freak. Ushinomiya Ava. Virgilia, reconstruct the second Twilight. Understood. On the second Twilight, Rosa and Maria were killed in the Rose Garden. We begin by applying the Ava culprit theory for that case. Huh? Ridiculous! Come, arise, try to remember. What form did Ushinomiya Hideyoshi have? What? What's that supposed to be? It's a summoning of the dead, which can easily bring even the dead up to the stand for testimony. Well, that's awkward. On the opposing side, a transparent Uncle Hideyoshi was summoned. But he literally said she's Ava, so like... That's not gonna disprove anything. Talk about convenient. He looked as though he couldn't see what was going on here, almost like a person on the other side of the TV. Witness summons? Ushinomiya Hideyoshi's testimony. Come, Hideyoshi, speak. I was taking care of Ava in our room the whole time. Of course, Ava didn't leave the room. And Ava? Around here, testimony that isn't read isn't worth crap. I demand that he repeats it again in red. Yeah, that's right. Sure, say it in red. I was in the room the whole time, for the whole stretch of time surrounding the crime. See? Look. That makes it impossible for Ava to be the culprit, right? Hideyoshi was in the room the whole time. What about Ava, huh? How will you counter this? Ridiculous. That move's so lame I could yawn. Beato never used such childish tricks, not even once. Battler? Repeat it! And Ava was also in the room for the whole stretch of time surrounding the crime. Uncle Hideyoshi was just there to create an alibi. You made him stay in the room the whole... Oh, sorry. You made him stay in the room and stealthily snuck out. If that isn't true, this guy should be able to say it in red. I refuse to repeat it. Case closed. Trial's over. Hideyoshi's evidence is sufficient. There's no need for me to repeat it, right? She has refused. You need show no mercy. This is check. Yeah, I'll take it. This opponent's slow. Check! Maybe Uncle Hideyoshi didn't leave the room the whole time, but saying he was taking care of you the whole time is a bright red lie. Therefore, no alibi exists for you. You had a chance to slip out of the room and kill Aunt Rosa and Maria. If you think you can dodge that, try proclaiming in red that Aunt Ava didn't take a step outside of her room. You can't, right? Checkmate. What the hell? I don't get it. Sorry, Aunt Ava. Even if you aren't used to the rules, being your opponent down with all your strength is how this game is played. Right, Beata? Indeed. The witch side resigns. Let us continue on to the next game. Next is the 4th through 6th Twilights. Damn, imagine playing chess for the first time and just getting brutalized. That's basically what's happening here. It seemed that the witch still didn't understand how to make a winning move, and she lost her composure in irritation. Ah, yes, the temper tantrums. She was probably also angry that a shot had been taken at her while she still didn't get what was going on. However, I won't go easy on her at all. Just like she didn't go easy on the victims, I won't go easy on her. Get her, Battler! Virgilia, next crime. Let's reconstruct the case with Dad and the rest. Understood. Three people, Rudolph, Kirie, and Hideyoshi, went to the mansion and were killed there. My move won't change. Aunt Ava, you are the culprit. This time you didn't even have an alibi from Uncle Hideyoshi. This song is so catchy. You claim that you were sleeping in that room all by yourself, but that's not true. If you can proclaim it in red, just try it. I refuse. You're doing a real bad job at this, girlie. I gotta say. So tell me, Ava is just a woman, and the people who died were 3 adults with 2 guns, right? How did she kill them all by herself? How did she do it with those stakes as weapons? Like, everyone keeps asking, how is this stake shooting device constructed? Explain that! Unless you can explain it, even if Ava doesn't have an alibi, that doesn't mean that it was possible for her to commit the murders. I refuse to explain. It's a devil's proof. Oh my god, we haven't heard that one in a while. Good old devil's proof. Just because I can't explain it, that doesn't deny the existence of an unknown murder technique or maybe an unknown weapon. Because what was it? What did it, in the very first chapter, didn't they theorize that they were using some kind of gun that shot like a crossbow, basically? In short, even if I can't explain how the stake shooting device is constructed, that doesn't prove that it doesn't exist. What the hell? Does that ridiculousness even count? Your devil's proof is valid. Agreed. It's a valid devil's proof. Battler-kun can claim that a stake shooting device exists without bearing the responsibility of explaining how it is constructed. The witch side cannot object to this move. Not bad. How pushy. Well, there's this ill-natured witch who trained me well. This is check, okay? Try saying in red that Aunt Ava didn't take a step out of that room. That's right, you shouldn't be able to say it. If you can't say it, it's over. Checkmate. That's so irrational. This is messed up. Like torturing corpses is messed up. Those are the rules of this game. How about some black tea first? Some delicious cookies. Cookies! I just eat that. This pisses me off. So you fight like a coward just because you can't win with magic. Don't get irritated. Drink some black tea or something. Sippy cup, half bottle. Chill out. I'll take mine straight. What about you, Beato? I'm fine. More importantly, Battler, don't let your guard down. Your opponent is only unfamiliar with the rules. This will only really start once your opponent gets the gist of it. But I'll crush her. Damn. I'll thoroughly crush her, because she isn't a witch. If I accept her as a witch, all your stubbornness will count for nothing. I don't care what kind of irrational argument or twisted logic I have to use. I'll crush her with all my heart and soul. Damn. Battler sighed, then stuck with the Ava culprit theory to explain Kraus and Natsuhi. The 7th and 8th Twilights in the exact same way. At the time, there had been no one on the first floor except for Ava and the victims. As before, no one could establish an alibi for Ava. Back then, Ava had claimed that they disappeared while she went to the bathroom. But there was nothing to support that, and the witch side couldn't repeat it in red either. Damn. BIA was doing a real bad job today. Using the same style of argument as that question regarding the stake shooting machine. The witch side asked once more how Ava could have strangled both of them at the same time, all by herself. But of course, Battler splendidly counterattacked by refusing to explain because of the devil's proof. Ah, yes, the devil's proof. The Deus Ex Machina. Under the storm and stress of Battler's spirit, the witch side was completely swallowed up. Having to resign 3 times during the short period of time she had to grasp the rules. This is like bullying at this point. Ha! I see. I'm finally starting to get the knack of it. Are you now? I won't let you have things your own way anymore. This time, let me take the initiative. Ronov, reconstruct the 4th through the 6th Twilights. Pick out Ushinomiya Kirie. For now, let me return to the murders of Rudolph, Kirie, and Hideyoshi during the 4th through 6th Twilights. What is she thinking? Why would she return once more to a situation where she's lost? I see. This is an unusual attack, and one you do not use. Be careful. At the time, the survivors were barricaded in the guest house. They didn't have food, but out of concern for their safety, they were at least prepared to go without eating until the next day. However, in the end, 3 of them went out for food, because they're idiots! That's right. In the end, 3 people went outside to get food. Dun, dun. It's a pain, so I'll add in some red and say it. Kirie didn't think that they needed food. Since going without food for about a day would have killed them, she claimed that they should not leave the guest house. And yet, she herself suggested that they leave the guest house to get food. Isn't that a contradiction? Yes, a spectacular contradiction. I mean, people can change their minds. The contradiction exists in Kirie's pattern of behavior. That contradiction was created by me with magic. Now that sounds like bullshit. In other words, I controlled Kirie using the magic and made her say that to lure the sacrifices outside. Ridiculous! There's no way that kind of magic exists. It's a devil's proof, right? Just because you don't know about that magic doesn't deny its existence. And if you can't bear the responsibility of acting out that magic for you, and yet you'll have even less room to counter this argument. Wonder if it's okay to fight this way. Yes, it is truly a spectacular move. Battler-sama, your response, if you please. That's a weird strategy she's taking. So, just what is this? She has placed a piece attacking Ushinomiya Kirie's pattern of behavior. As has already been explained, Kirie's pattern of behavior had her saying that they should not go outside or head to the mansion in order to get food. And yet, she herself took the initiative, taking the contradictory action of going out to get food. Unless she can explain that contradiction, she will use this violent move to claim that magic was the cause. Well, that's probably what Kirie thought in the beginning. But she probably, thought through a few things midway, then changed her mind and decided that food really was necessary. It'd be bad if, when things got tough, we were so hungry that we had no energy and, well... She is claiming that this change of heart was due to magic. In short, while it might be extremely difficult, you must explain the reason for Kirie's change of heart. What are you saying? You're talking about the inside of Kirie-san's head, right? Can I also summon Kirie's ghost and question her? If only, huh? Beardo, can't you call Kirie-san here or something? She cannot. That is a move permitted only to the witch's side. Rude. Sorry. She was probably thinking of us kids and on the whole thought that food was necessary, and you must present your claim through objective means. You'll need concrete proof that Kirie changed her mind and decided that food really was necessary for some specific reason. Maybe it was less about food. Maybe they were just trying to lure someone out into the open. For example, if someone heard her say that, or it was written down somewhere. Too bad the reason she changed her mind was not passed on to anyone, nor was it written down. Therefore, you can only speculate as to what was inside Kirie's mind. So it's impossible to explain. Now, we just gotta spin the chessboard around. You don't have a single counter to my move. Isn't it your turn to resign now, Battler-kun? It is possible to hypothesize endlessly as to the reason behind your change of heart. And it is impossible to crush all of those endless possibilities. A detestably spectacular move. If Battler-sama were to have a method of countering, it could probably only be that move. What move is that? Well, I wonder what kind of move it could be. Oh, thanks. Just throw the idea out there and then like, oh, I didn't say anything. What are you talking about? I had the feeling that it was Milady's specialty, but I cannot remember. That's weird. I must be getting old. My memory's getting to me. Quit being stingy and tell me. Beatrice? No answer will be given to those who stop thinking for themselves. Think. Think in your own way. Why don't you resign right now? And I'll corner you even more with Red. Until the last instant before she died, Kyrie's behavior pattern of not going to get food equals not going to the mansion was maintained. And yet she took the initiative and headed towards the mansion. She was pushing a cart, ready to carry food. Why that contradiction? Because I controlled her with magic. This is proof that my magic exists and that I am a witch. That is like the lamest attempt to prove that. Shut the hell up. Are you saying that she never even changed her mind? That the whole time until she died, Kyria-san thought we don't need food and we won't go to the mansion? Then why did she step forward herself and say that they should go to get food and go to the mansion? Are you saying that Kyrie-san was being controlled with magic? That's stupid. How should we break through this? Only Kyrie-san were here and just told us the reason behind her change of heart. No, I've already been told in red that she never even changed her mind. What should I do? There's no move that the human side can counter with. The more I learn about this game, the more advantageous the rules seem for the witch, right? Even if I lose in a lot of areas, if I can win in just one, that alone can display the existence of a witch. In other words, Bather-kun has no way of denying witches other than a complete victory. How truly funny that even though you thought you could corner me and call me Ava, it's all been spun around by nothing more than that, than the inside of your respected Kyrie-san's head, right? Just do it, resign. If it's accepted, if only we just lose. Oh, damn it! It's impossible for a human to prove. I can't do anything but guess at what the dead were thinking when they acted. Furthermore, I can't deny the magic based on conjecture alone. To break through it, I need objective proof as to why Kyrie-san had a change of heart. But, damn it. It's been said in red that no proof exists as to why she changed her mind and wanted food. What should I do? Damn it! Damn it! Butler-sama, is this your resignation? No. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, Excuse me. Not going to get food equals not going to the mansion. But then how should I understand Kyrie-san's thoughts, which actually do contradict each other? You can't understand. It's impossible to understand and impossible to interpret. That darkness is all of the witch. Come on, it's useless to think, so quit, okay? You can't just deny witches after all. I exist right here. I am the Golden Witch. I stole that name from that former witch over there. You can't deny that I am Beatrice. Damn it! You have no right to use that name. And yet, I can't think of a move to deny it. Dun 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 dun. Father could no longer counter this witch who was laughing insanely in triumph. Girl needs to take it easy. Take a nap. You're going a little crazy. He didn't want to give up, but no move appeared. He ground his teeth, making fists with both hands. But even so, he couldn't think of a brilliant counterattack. Battler-sama, your time limit is over, so will you resign? The human side has no move in response. It will Wait! There is a counter. What did you say? Huh? What kind of move could possibly exist, predecessor Sama? Won't you just tell? Blah, 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 blah. Won't you tell me what kind of move could deny this magic of Beatrice's? Everything. You can't. It's impossible. Da, da, da. If the proposition that not going to get food equals not going to the mansion cannot be explained by itself, then I will explain it with the contrapositive. In short, you can also explain it with she still went to the mansion equals she had a goal other than food. This is less my specialty, Hempel's Raven, than it is Battler's specialty, chessboard thinking. If it was impossible for Kyrie to have gone to the mansion with food as a goal, then we can only explain it by saying she had another reason that got her to go outside despite that. In other words, if we can prove that she has such a goal, we can defeat this magic. I see. So she didn't go to the mansion with food as the goal, but she had a different goal. She said she wanted to go and get food in order to disguise her real goal. Dun 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 dun. True enough, it might be possible to find an explanation that way. But, ow! Teacher, reconstruct the scene of Kirie's death. We cannot summon a ghost, but inspecting the corpse ought to be a right allowed to the human side. Yes, there is no problem. I shall reconstruct the scene of the scene where Ushiromiya Kirie died. We cannot call Kirie's ghost here. Excuse me. But by finding out what Kirie left behind, we may be able to use that as a weapon. Fine, search as much as you want. I mean, we will. That's what we said we were gonna do. There's no way you'll learn anything. I just said in red a short while ago, Kirie did not leave anything written down. You can still infer. There's ways. There's ways. No matter what you find, how could you possibly figure anything out? Give it time. Give it time. We may find nothing. But Battler, is grinding your teeth fighting to think of a move to break through you? Or sorry, but Battler is grinding his teeth fighting to think of a move to break through you. This is all that I can do. Queen! Beatrice landed on her feet in the reconstructed hall, approached Kirie's corpse, and wandered about, observing. I'm completely clueless when it comes to fighting on the human side. We need to find evidence, right? Then what should I search for? The great Lady Beatrice is going to get down on her hands and knees and crawling around. And she's decently searching a corpse? Oh, look suits you. Say whatever you wish. I cannot do any more than this. I care not how I am despised. However, I cannot throw Battler away, as he is fighting for my honor. Even if I must crawl on the ground and search through dead flesh, I must answer to that responsibility. Bathed in the witch's sneers, Beato searched through Kirie's corpse. She fished through the pockets, taking what was inside out and laying it on the floor. Laid on the floor was a handkerchief, tissue, a key to her house, the stub of a boat ticket, a lighter, a cigarette butt, and a single 100-yen coin. There was no special suspicious object. Although Beato was down on all floors and being sneered at, that was all she could find. Did Kirie smoke? I don't think she did. So that's someone else's cigarette, but she decided to keep as, like, evidence or something. What's with that seedy-looking trash? How do you think you can break my magic with that stuff? Worthless! Worthless! Are you a moron? So lame, and right after you cut in between us talking so tough. How pathetic, how embarrassing. If only you'd just give up and die. That is quite the sentence. The witch fell over laughing, lambasting Beato. Beato hung her head, trying to withstand the shame. Milady? Are you finished with your inspection? Indeed. I will not find any more than this. Can you make any counter from this evidence? If not, then the human side must resign. Obviously, you don't have any room to argue back. I am a witch. You cannot break through my magic. You are no longer anything but a former witch. A loser who isn't even allowed to take the name Beatrice anymore. Come on, pile up as much trash and rubbish as you like, and just try to break my magic. You can't, right? You can't, can you? And why is that? Because I'm a witch. Huh? I'd bet on that. It's because you're just a loser without a name, House of Seagull crying. Well, Bieto feels like she's about to cry, I think. But I think they're making progress here. Because they found a cigarette butt in Kirie's pockets, and I'm like, I don't think Kirie smoked, so... Plus, who puts a cigarette butt in their pocket? There were probably ashtrays all over this place, because, you know, this was like, what, the 80s? Everyone smoked. So there isn't really a reason to keep a cigarette butt in your pocket unless you were holding on to it for some kind of evidence. Maybe they were all overfilled? I mean, people will still use an overfilled ashtray, trust me. You wouldn't put a cigarette butt in your pocket. You'd stub it out and or throw it in the trash. I have stomped enough lit cigarette butts to know what smokers do when there isn't an ashtray. They just throw it on the ground and hope nothing catches on fire. Like, it's literally the worst. It's kind of depressing. It really is. I remember one giving me a real nasty look because I did it right after they threw it on the ground. I'm like, bruh, I could see smoke rising from it, and you threw it in the grass. In the fall. You were just asking to start a fire, you idiot. Like... Like, I'm not commenting on your habit. I'm just not letting you set the... I'm not just not letting you set the area on fire, like... But arson can't be fun. Not really. Because, I mean, if there are cameras around there and your act of arson causes property damage, you can't be arrested for it, so... Something should be here. I won't lose heart. Do. No matter how much I am sneered at, Battler is fighting for my honor. I must not lose heart. As Bieto held back tears at the words of humiliation she was being showered with, she tried to find if Kirie was holding something else, to find something that could save Battler from his plight. Searching earnestly. However, nothing more came up. Damn it. Please, Ushinomiya Kirie. You must save your son from his plight. Please, after death, lend me power for his sake. However, Kirie's body did not answer. It was only natural that a corpse would remain silent. No dead person existed that would answer Bieto, who had lost the endless magic. It's pointless, pointless, pointless! Toying with the dead is a privilege only for witches. For you, who is neither a witch nor even a human, no one exists who will lend a hand. You'll be alone for all eternity. You have no witch or human allies, and no one will save you. Are you sure about that? Considering how all this is shaping up, I would say she certainly has allies. If that's frustrating, why don't you cry? If only you just apologize saying, I'm sorry, I'm so useless. I cannot wait for this Ava Bieto to, like, explode into a million pieces. It will be so satisfying. Sorry, Battler. It'll be great! I couldn't help you at all. No. That's enough. Thanks, Bieto. I won't waste your efforts. I don't need consoling. Just how could you possibly argue back with this pile of rubbish? Just how could you possibly strike back with this rubbish I scraped together while she sneered at me? Hey, you never know. I would say the police have put together cases that stuck from less. Just check Higurashi. In front of Bieto, who was still crawling on all fours and hitting the pile of objects Kyrie left behind with her fist, Battler also crouched. And after patting her on the shoulder in thanks, he moved that hand to the ground and picked up the cigarette butt and held it over his head. Da 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 na 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 na. What are you trying to say with that trash? Kirie-san doesn't smoke. But Kirie also had a lighter on her. True. Thought you were going for the Legend of Zelda sound? I was. You got that right. But it ended up more coming out as like a Final Fantasy noise, because I forgot the wind up with the da na 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 na. You know, sometimes you have an idea in your head, but you spit out the wrong words? That's basically what happened. I spit out the wrong song. All the time. Yeah, you guys understand me. You got the intention, though. True, she did have an actual box of cigarettes, but at a glance, it naturally looked as though Kirie had a smoking habit. Dad smoked, but Kirie didn't. But she did walk around with just a lighter to light Dad's cigarettes. Interesting servitude. Huh. So what? If the husband smoked, then even if the wife didn't, it wouldn't be strange for her to be holding a cigarette. Maybe she picked up the cigarette butt of her husband who had bad smoking manners? What are you trying to say? What does that have to do with my magic? Nothing at all. I'll say more. This is a different brand of cigarette than what Dad smokes. Ah, yes, the one thing you can count on. Smokers have their favorites, and God forbid they have to smoke something else, they would rather just die. Like, I've seen it sometimes in desperation, but literally, most smokers I've ever known would rather just suffer than bum a smoke off someone. Is he about to argue the 14th person? I feel like he's going to argue. She was holding on to someone else's cigarette. And depending on who cigarette she was holding on to, that could point to a suspect. Because I think the only adults that don't smoke that we know of are, like, out of the family members. We don't know about the servants, but Ava doesn't smoke. Matter of fact, she hates smoking so much that everyone bitches about her hating it because it forces them to go smoke outside. God forbid you don't want secondhand smoke. Though, this was the 80s, no one really knew that existed back then. So Hideyoshi smoked. Rudolph smoked. I think Kraus smoked, but he doesn't get brought up. It doesn't get brought up that he smoked as often as Hideyoshi and Rudolph. So yeah, So if the adults locked in that mansion, the ones we know for sure smoked are Rudolph and Hideyoshi. Possible smokers is Kraus. And that's it, just 3 of them. So if it's not Rudolph's, she's holding on to Hideyoshi's cigarette butt by process of elimination? Maybe Kraus, if we stretched it. So if she held on to it, she's obviously suspicious about something. And actually, now that I say that, if he was with Ava in the sick room the whole time, he wouldn't have smoked. Because she hated it. So if he smoked at some point, that means there was a time he wasn't with Ava. And if that's the case, suddenly the whole, she was with Hideyoshi the whole time. Suddenly that all falls apart. If that's where this is going. Sorry, Bieto, could you look in the pockets of Dad's corpse too? Was that one of the red sentences? Indirectly. Because one of the red sentences was that Hideyoshi did not leave the room. Ava refused to repeat in red that that Ava never left the room. So that was already like, yeah, you're fucked. It's like if you're not gonna say that, then like you're cooked. Because the whole logic was, it's like, yeah, Hideyoshi was looking after her the whole time. So she couldn't have been a murderer. But if he was smoking somewhere else, that means he wasn't with her the whole time. Whether that means he knew she left the room and he was covering for her, or he was like, oh well, she's out cold. I'm just gonna go step outside and bum a smoke. It could be either one. Indeed, you mean this? Checking the brand. The brand is different from the cigarette butt. I'm not sure how cigarette branding works. I know on the package, it'll say what brand and stuff. I'm not sure on the cigarette butt how you're supposed to be able to tell that. We're just gonna have to suspend our disbelief and trust the game. Different filters, maybe? Yeah, I was gonna say the filters, maybe? And I mean... Because, yeah, usually we think of a cigarette butt as just being the filter. And there's very little left of the cigarette. But I guess in theory, if the cigarette was only half smoked, there might be some kind of trace branding on it. But yeah, it's like, I don't smoke. I had friends who smoked, but like, I never stuck around when they were smoking. Definitely not enough to know what brands they smoked and whether or not their cigarettes said there was branding, you know? Because I'm allergic to smoke, and I mean, like, people will say, like, oh, yeah, everyone's allergic to smoke. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but I get really, really bad headaches and I can't breathe. When there were really bad wildfires around here, I got permission to work from home for like a whole week because I couldn't be in a room that did have an air purifier. So yeah, anytime I had friends who smoked, even them just smelling like smoke, I was like, no. Oh, dang, yeah, no, it's bad. Like, I got to work, and then I had to leave, because I'm like, listen, the air quality in this place is bad, and I already used my inhaler, and I still can't breathe, so I need to get the heck out of here. Hello. Cats come over being an adorable. The cigarette butt Kitty is holding is not of the same brand that Rudolph smokes. And so what? Maybe Kitty is just a good girl who likes things to be clean, so she couldn't leave a fallen cigarette butt alone and picked it up? I wouldn't, though. Beato, sorry, but one more time, please. Uncle Hideyoshi's pockets. In this family, only Dad and Hideyoshi smoke cigarettes. Ah, there we go. That's crazy, though. One of the smokers ended up marrying someone who hates smoking. Then again, it was like, I think theirs was an arranged marriage, but they did end up actually loving each other. But dang. I don't know how I would feel about that. Like, sure, on one hand, you can't dictate people's habits just because you're dating or married. Doesn't really mean you should force people to give up their habits, like, because you can't control them. Like, you can express severe disapproval and be like, this is a deal breaker for me, but like, if you're already in that relationship and you've decided not to leave, like, you just gotta deal with it, right? I don't know how I would feel if I was prone to headaches like Ava. Like, she's not as bad as Natsuhi, it seems, but she is prone to having headaches and like anemia and stuff. I don't know how I would feel if my supposed darling husband of like 30 years wouldn't give up smoking. I mean, especially in this time period where everyone smoked indoors, like, and people just, like, you would go into restaurants in the 90s and there would just be, like, a haze in the air. Like, until, like, they actually started putting smoking areas behind the glass partitions, like, it was bad just being in there. So, I mean, at least if he went outside, sure. But also, you know Ava was washing his clothes, so that would have sucked for her as well, because cigarette smoke really clings to clothes, especially stuff like suits, like the polyester and the wool. Oof. It's here. Is this it? Beato found a cigarette box in Hideyoshi's pocket, took a single one out and held it up. To be fair, they might have servants clean their clothes. True. It's hard to know with this family. Cause it's like, yeah, they're rich, but you really get the sense they're all struggling and just pretending to be rich, and like they're all like technically broke. Because, I mean, if Rosa was rich, she would have been able to hire a nanny, and then Maria wouldn't have, like, had meltdowns that forced the neighbors to call the cops because she's been left alone at the house for days on end while Rosa went out with her new boyfriend. Checking the brand. We acknowledge that the cigarette butt is of the same brand that Hideyoshi smokes. And so what? How can you break my magic because you found Hideyoshi's cigarette butt in Kirie's pocket? Well, we're about to tell ya. And you ain't gonna like it. That's right. The cigarette butt is a message from Kirie-san. The good old SOS. No, the cigarette butt itself is the reason that Kirie-san left the guest house. Mieto, thank you. If you hadn't found this, I would have given up here. There we go. I was like, hello? Game? I'm like, are we changing scenes? What's happening? Vergilia! Reconstruct the situation. The guest house after it came to light that Aunt Rosa and Maria had been killed on the second twilight. Had to give a quick jump scare. God, so true. How's the story going? Good! I imagine we're like pretty much at the end of chapter 3. Right now, Battler is trying to prove that Bia Ava is not actually a witch and Aunt Ava was like the murderers. And they found a cigarette butt on Kirie, and they ended up being able to link it to Hideyoshi. And it's like, hey, hold on here. Hideyoshi said he was with Ava the whole time, but Ava hated smoking. So when did he have time to smoke if he was supposedly with her the whole time? Like... Understood? Reconstructing now, after Rosa and Maria's death, the remaining survivors rechecked all of the doors and windows in the mansion. They constructed a barricade. They reconfirmed that their defenses were solid. There's nothing suspicious about that at all. What are you trying to say? Why are you bringing up the second twilight when we're talking about the fourth twilight and after? Dad carried a portable cigarette butt holder with them. Oh, one of those things, yeah. You see them sometimes in anime where, like, a character who smokes suddenly just pulls, like, an envelope out of their pocket and stuffs the cigarette in it. That is apparently, a cigarette butt, like a portable cigarette butt holder. People had them on their suits and stuff? Yeah. I think the first time I saw it personally was in Durarara, because Shizuo had one. I'm finally starting to see why Kirie-san went out of the way to put a cigarette butt in her own pocket. That does sound convenient, yeah. Much better than, you know, the people I was talking about, where, like, I have to stamp out other people's cigarette butts because they just throw lit cigarette butts on the ground. Because even though, from my understanding, Japan is still a heavy smoking society, there is the expectation that, you know, I think there is the expectation that, like, things stay clean. So, yeah, if you smoke and there isn't an ashtray nearby, you better not put that in the trash. Because same reason, you put the cigarette butt in the trash, you could set the trash on fire. I'm not sure how the portable cigarette butt holders work, but I imagine it smothers the flame. It was because that cigarette butt meant something. That cigarette butt itself was a message left by Kirie-san for us. Before you mentioned Shishuo, I just had an image of him pop up in my head. Yeah. It's just a sealable portable ashtray. Correct. That is essentially what it is. They call it a portable cigarette butt holder in this, and I'm like, I guess that is technically correct. But it is more of a portable ashtray. Like, I don't think you're supposed to, like, tap your cigarette in it to put the ashes in there, but I'm sure some people do. Either way, just one of the ways that you're, I know Japan does it. I don't know if any other countries do. Probably. For the sake of this, we'll just say this is another way that Japan is ahead of the game. Just like, you know, pocket warmers and stuff. I recently started seeing those being sold here, and I'm like, dang! I should buy some of those for Iduna. She hates the cold. But we've had, like, a ridiculously mild winter here. But then let's hear it. Going to deny me with that single cigarette butt. As we've heard, about the second twilight, an inspection was done of all the rooms in the guest house. At that time, Kirie-san found something that shouldn't exist, in a place where it shouldn't be. Okay, yeah, so I was definitely on the money. It's like, why were you smoking when you were with Ava the whole time and she hates smoking, yada yada yada? Something that shouldn't exist? What do you mean by that? It's this. This cigarette butt. This was set in the ashtray of the guest room that Uncle Hideyoshi was in. What? What's wrong with there being a cigarette butt in an ashtray? Oh, for someone who lived in Ava's body, apparently you don't know Ava very well, huh? Just. Ava hated smoking. That's a bit confusing, right? There's no way there'd be a cigarette butt there while Aunt Ava was sick and sleeping. However, there was a cigarette butt in the ashtray. When she saw that, Kirei-san noticed it immediately. If only Battler could say it in red. If only, huh? Too bad that's just a witch's ability. Uncle Hideyoshi was lying. She realized that Aunt Ava hadn't really been sleeping. Gasp! So what, she killed Rosa and Maria because Rosa was going to tell everyone that they found the gold and that Ava was trying to keep it all for herself. I guess that's where it's going. Repeat it! The cigarette butt was crushed out in the ashtray of the room where Aunt Ava and Uncle Hideyoshi were resting. I refuse! I finally got it. Thank you, Beetle. What? Was I of some use? Yes, you were the best. Yeah, you were. Tear it. We'll tear the mask off that fake witch. Oh my god, look at this power couple. They're starting to look alike. You know what they say, pets and people who have been dating a long time start to look like each other? Life goals? Is this what they mean by enemies to lovers? 100%? Alright, if that's the case, I can get that trope. So many times when people are like enemies to lovers, I'm like, that just sounds like abuse. At least these two, you can see how things started to shift. And during that time, he was unable to withstand the tension and smoked. Then Kyrie had confessed that to Rudolph. She confessed that there was a good chance Ava was the culprit and Hideyoshi was an accomplice. Next, Kyrie-san proposed that they go get food. She then asked Uncle Hideyoshi to lend a hand. This could only mean one thing. Kine-san planned to isolate Uncle Hideyoshi and question him about the truth. Oh yeah, fair, because, I mean, the most popular enemies to lovers ship there was when I was younger was, like, Seton Kaiba and Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm like, that is just straight up abuse right there. Oh yeah! That was a super popular one. Like, technically every ship with Kaiba is enemies to lovers, but with that, at least with Yugi, there was like some level of respect on both sides. You hate Ronal's cravat? Is it because it's not all shiny and frilly like Edgeworth's? Your Hempel's Raven is valid unless the witch's side counters this unless the witch's side counters this move, the existence of the magic that supposedly controlled Kirie has been denied. With Kaiba and Yugi, there's also the fact that he's like the weaker player too. True. It does kind of look like a bib. I can get that. Also, I think what really throws it off is his shirt. Because his shirt looks like a giant cravat as well. I think if he had a normal button-up shirt, it would probably look a little better. What did you say? I deny it anyway, I deny it. You can deny it all you want. That doesn't change anything. It wasn't... What's an Ushinomiya? Ava, we're sleeping in our room. Then try saying it. Yeah, you can't. You can't say it this time either. Repeat it. At that time, Ushinomiya Ava did not take a step outside her room. What the hell is that? I'm the one who was attacking, right? It's called turning the tables. It's called an underdog upset. Happens all the time. Get used to it. My mic's cutting out sometimes. Probably because I'm clipping it. Now it might be a bit too low. We want it in the yellow. It'll buff out. It's only half a word here or there. Fair enough. That is a constant issue with me. Because when I get really excited and into stuff, I naturally raise the volume of my voice. And then the mic's like, meh. You gotta cut that shit out. Iduna likes to joke I don't have an inside voice. When I started streaming, I had to basically reteach myself how to speak. Because at the start, a lot of people are like, I have no idea what you just said. You speak so fast. It's like, oh. My bad. That's when it happened, uh-huh. Yeah. It's one of those things, it's like, in a perfect world, I could probably train myself to lose that habit. But at the same time, it's part of my charm. So I don't want to. Why am I the one being attacked right now? That's just how it goes, sweetheart. Just live with it. When did offense and defense get reversed? I'm the one questioning you, right? The witch me, so why? Well, as far as I can tell, there isn't, the rules like in chess, where you have to actually take turns. This is more of a debate than a chess game. Technically, it seems like technically you can step in and make your point at any time. Again, repeat it. Ushinomiya Ava did not leave the room. There's no way you can say it. It's checkmate. Does the witch side have a move in response? There cannot be one. There is no truth that can be accepted from a false witch dressed up with truths and falsehoods. Hang on. But truths are reality. You're saying she's a fake, but she's also right? That one's getting a little weird. You aren't qualified to call yourself a real witch. You aren't the Golden Witch. You're a human. Ushino Ava. Oh! She's flashing. Browser exploding. Did they get her? They seem to have cornered her, yes. I don't think she's given up just yet. But things aren't looking good for her. The witch howled. Her entire body was burned with a tremendous heat that denied her own magic and existence as she let out a howl like a dragon. Her body flickered repeatedly, flashing as though Ava's figure and the witch's figure overlapped. Oh, there she is! However, the yell was sucked into the flicker, making it return to the original form of the cruel witch. Sure. If you want to call me Ushinomiya Ava, then go ahead and do that. That's right. I actually can't repulse all moves related to Ushinomiya Ava being the culprit. I may have been dragged down for the position of Golden Witch, and you might call me Ushinomiya Ava now. But you know what? That by itself doesn't mean that witches and magic have been denied. Also, while I'm thinking of it, because the fact that sometimes these, new scenes are taking a second to load is freaking me out. I'm gonna save to be safe. Because I do not want to have to fast forward through 2 hours of text if the game crashes. Which has happened once before. It was a terrible, terrible day. I'll teach you starting now. I'll teach you that I am not Ushinomiya Ava, nor a human, but a real witch. Take a look at this red truth. Do I have to? Mom, I'm bored. I'm bored of playing with you. Can we do something else? When the witch clapped her hands, time advanced in the world of the game board. Battler and Ava dashed to the front of the parlor, calling out Jessica's name. They were searching for Jessica because they had gone to the servant room, found Nanjo's corpse, and didn't know where Jessica was. So? What's your point? What are you trying to say? You couldn't be. Oh no. Beato went pale. This time, I'll give you a fatal move that you won't be able to talk yourself out of. No, I'll make this move against all humans who support you. Listen carefully to my move. Do I have to? I kinda don't like you. Stop it, that move is... Beato, stay back. I'll take it. Come on, you fake witch. After Jessica was injured, Ava was constantly under Battler's supervision. Battler is neither the culprit nor an accomplice. By this, we can establish a perfect alibi for Ava. What? I'll seal you, and humans as well, in a red barrier that most certainly cannot be escaped from. Farewell, lowly humans. Sleep for all eternity in an absolute closed room of magic with no exits. I don't know if it's an absolute closed room here. We can just open the door. Like, oh no, we're trapped. Oh, hey, look, there's a door here. Yippee! Come on. Listen carefully. Listen to the red truth. And I'm covering my ears. There are no more than 18 humans on this island. Throw away your foolish thoughts of mysterious people hiding and committing crimes. But if I say it that way, you might also suspect animal criminals. What? When did he ever be like, it was a bear. A bear has killed everyone. It's like that one filler episode of Prince of Tennis where they found a bear in the storage room, but it turned out to be some dude dressed up in a bear suit, stealing canned food. If this game was suddenly like, oh yeah, an animal did it, I'd be like, it's someone in a suit. Battler would probably try, quite possibly. I couldn't stand to hear some irrational theory about how a orangutan trained to commit murder wouldn't count as a human. I mean, they wouldn't. They're an orangutan. Also, how the hell do you hide an orangutan here? It's bright orange. This is just getting ridiculous. A bear would at least make sense, because Japan does have bears. They're mostly further north, but yeah. So I'll change it like this. No life forms other than humans have any connection to this game. But what about sentient objects and furniture? The furniture are to life forms or humans. That's why they're furniture. It's moments like this I realize I am truly my father's child. Because Papa Melis famously would rather dig himself through to the center of the earth than admit being wrong. So he can come up with like BS excuses and stuff on the fly. So me nitpicking Ava, I'm like, ah yes. I really am my father's child, aren't I? Except I know to admit when I'm wrong. I just don't want to because I hate her. That's how it is. Next, I'll explain all of the situation of all the 18 people who exist on this island. The most iconic story of father that I remember was how he was so annoying. Oh yeah, it was Bridge. Like the card game. And yeah, he had to give up the hobby because he couldn't get a partner anymore. Like he burned through the whole community. Yeah, he's always very much been, I'm not gonna change the way I act. If you've got a problem with me, you can leave, which is fair. But you know, eventually you run out of people. He was talking about that, and I'm like, you know, Dad, I get where you're coming from, but if everyone else, if, you know, it's like, you lose one friend, you could be like, ah, yeah, we just didn't get along. Or, you know, you can lose, like, a few people, and it's like, oh, well, whatever. I'm like, but when everyone is the problem, you need to start reevaluating yourself, because what's the common denominator in all these situations? It's you. It's you are the problem. And, like, I sympathize, because I had a similar situation as well. Because I've talked before about having really bad depression and anxiety in the past. And, you know, you can tell people are getting a little weird. And then, you know, you start asking people, and they don't tell you what the problem is, but suddenly they stop talking to you. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but clearly I'm the issue here. And I mean, that's fair. You don't need to be friends with anyone for any reason, but I was kind of like, huh. I'm trying to fix this problem, but no one will tell me what the problem is. Rip. This was like 5 years ago, so before anyone gets worried, all's good now. Kinzo is dead. Kraus is dead. Natsuki is dead. Hideyoshi is dead. Okay, George is dead. Rudolph is dead. That's good. Yeah, don't worry. And who needs humans when you've got cats, am I right? I'm just kidding. Human friends are very important. Even when you're an introvert like me, you do need interactions. I find that's like the crazy thing, because extroverts make sense. You get energized being around people. Introverts? It's like, oh no, this is draining. But God forbid if I don't talk to friends in a few weeks, apparently I will shrivel up and, like, die. Humans are very strange. It's like we are a herd animal, but some of us are like, I would rather die than be in this herd. Rose is dead, Kirie is dead, Maria is dead, Genji is dead, Shauna is dead, Kanon is dead, Goat is dead. Oh my god, okay. So there's 15 total. And Battler is alive, Ava is alive, Jessica is alive. I guess she is technically alive, isn't she? They haven't really killed her yet. Which means that when the last victim, Nanjo, died, only 3 people, Battler, Ava, and Jessica, were alive, right? Guess she's going for broke. She's just gotta list it all out. She's trying to cover all her bases. What did you s- Damn it, you don't mean... Ava was with you the whole time. So committing a crime was impossible for her. Well, you don't know about that. She could have given him the slip. Of course, Betlerkun isn't the culprit. He wasn't forging an alibi for her, and he took the possibility that she was the culprit into account, watching over her actions very carefully. No chance existed for her to do anything suspicious. In short, at the time of the crime, only Nanjo and Jessica were in the servant room. And I know what you're thinking. Your next move will be this, right? There's also a chance that Jessica is the culprit, even though she's blind right now. Also, I just need to let you guys know. Pep, my cat, I had to sacrifice my left hand because she's being very insistent on grooming me, so I'm just here reading while this cat tries to give me a bath. Canada has the longest coastline in the world. Yeah, that sounds about right. We've got the entire west coast from British Columbia all the way up to the Arctic Circle, like. But too bad. I'll slice it up in red before you try. You don't like it? That's fair. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but I try and remember. Hey, brat. I took my hand away and she started causing mischief. But yeah, I try to remember it is a sign of love from your cat. If they're grooming you, that means you are family, so. Alright, Pep, you want food, is that it? Is that right? Because it's 9 p.m. on a Thursday, and this is usually when I finish stream, but we're going late today. But you have your schedule. Okay, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna put out the post-stream snack for these guys, even though we're not post-stream yet. 1 sec. Literally, the kitchen's just in the next room, so. Un momento. Okay, I'm back, and also, oh my gosh. Sometime around, last time I looked out a window was like around 6 p.m., like 3 hours ago. We had no snow. The ground is now covered in snow. Like, holy heck, what? Yippee! Yes, I love snow in winter, so this is great. It just took me by surprise. Because I have curtains and stuff in the streaming room, right? But the curtains are open in like the living room / kitchen. So I just step out of the room and all I see is white. I'm like, oh, what happened? Just goes to show you how quickly weather can change this time of year. If you live in an area that gets snow and stuff anyway. That's why I'm always like, just assume there's a chance you'll be caught in a blizzard. You never know. She was not involved with Nanjo's murder. Her eyes were completely covered. It'd be impossible for her to carry out a murder like that. Not with a Rube Goldberg machine. For better or worse, absolutely. And here's a bonus. Neither Ava nor Battler killed Nanjo, nor were they involved. Wait a second, that doesn't make sense. There were only 3 humans, then a murder occurs, and none of those 3 were involved? That's insane. I'll state it clearly. The culprit who killed Nanjo was neither Battler, nor Ava, nor Jessica. In other words, it wasn't one of the survivors. It was suicide. Or someone that was supposed to be dead wasn't actually dead at that time, but then they died after. That is also a possibility. Get it? No, explain it to me like I'm 5. No, that isn't right. What about multiple personalities? Oh, now you're really stretching, Battler. The most convenient excuse in the mystery book. It was the multiple personalities. Just like how you were originally another personality of Aunt Ava's. What if Jessica has an evil twin? Like Junko? That could make sense. Anything's possible. These guys are all trading notes after all. Let's say Jessica had another witch-like personality which took the name of something other than Jessica and killed Dr. Nanjo. Well, I mean, it's possible, but also he's an old man. He could have died of a heart attack and then someone just mutilated his corpse. Moron. I've already said it in red. Jessica's eyes were completely covered, and murder was impossible for her. Well, not with that attitude. Are you happy now? Give her enough ammo, she takes something out. Very true. I mean, isn't that the whole point of, like, semi-automatic rifles? You don't even need to aim, you just spray and pray. I wonder if you'll be satisfied if I say it this way. No action caused by Jessica's body had any relation to or influence on the murder of Nanjo. Well, okay then. This also applies to Battler and Ava. Someone rigged explosives? In other words, no matter how much you try to struggle and interpret it, neither Jessica, nor Battler, nor Ava is the culprit who killed Nanjo. You've gotta be kidding me. I mean, this is definitely dead, right? Well, you don't know about that for sure. Did you personally check their pulses? Stop trying to eat stuff. I just fed you. My girl. Cats, when you disrupt their schedule, are terrifying. I mean, everyone else is definitely dead, right? And all that's left is the Dr. Nanjo suicide theory, right? I guess Nanjo would, then he lied? Yeah, that's why I was like, did you personally check their pulses? Or, I mean, even if you can't accurately take someone's pulse, you can do the thing where you put a piece of paper or, like, a mirror up against someone's nose and mouth. Because even if they don't look like they're breathing, if they are, they'll fog up the mirror. And or they'll move the paper. Alright, Pep, you leave me with no choice. You're coming up here. We now have a cat in our lap. Would you like to talk to the audience, Pep? Silence. That's what I thought. Then all that's left is the Dr. Nanjo suicide theory, right? And the trap theory. You triggered my trap card. The culprit was already dead, but a trap that they had already prepared went off. Nanjo's death was a homicide. Of course, it was with a direct method of murder, not a trap. A weapon was readied and he was killed with it from point-blank range in front of him. The culprit appeared openly before Nanjo's eyes, and as they both looked at each other's faces, the culprit killed him. Rip. But wait! There's more! There are only 3 survivors. You said in red that everyone else is dead. You basically confirmed the life or death status of all 18 people. Furthermore, the existence of a 19th person has already been denied in red. I just want to say I'm so proud of Pep. She's just chilling in my lap. She's so happy. Like, I'm not holding her here. Like, I've loosely got one arm around her because I'm petting her, but... if you really wanted to, you could break free, but you don't want to. You want to be with Mama. That's so cute. Oh, I love you. In other words, no one can exist except the 3 survivors. Maybe this is her favorite part? You know what? Maybe. Oh, see, now you want down. Hang on, hang on, hang on. She could jump down herself, but her claws would dig into me, and I'm like, no, no. Giving her a kiss was the mistake at that point. She's like, no, I'm not here. Goodbye. Yeah, because I mean, they use their scratching posts and I trim their nails every other week. But, like, yeah, the claws are still sharp. Even when you blunt them, they can still scratch you and stuff. How could a person other than us appear and murder Dr. Nanjo when no 19th person exists? Insane! You're lying! You're lying with the red! The red only tells the truth! Well, technically a distorted truth. You can technically tell a lie only stating the facts and just make sure someone will misunderstand. Isn't doubting that the same as betraying the honor of that witch who's behind you, shriveling up in fear of me and hiding behind your back? Well, you don't gotta put it that way. Right now, I'll state it clearly. The one who appeared in front of Nanjo was me. The golden witch who can't be explained away with the 18 humans. The golden witch who can't be explained away with the 18 humans. Cats are distracting. I had to repeat it. Regalia! Run off! Isn't there a contradiction in that situation? Is she really telling the truth? I still don't really get the denying magic. Or why they don't just say in red, yeah, I did it with magic. You make a good point. They might have explained it at some point, but at this point, it takes so long to get through the other chapters, it's like, I have no idea anymore. I think Beatrice said she'd be a good sport. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, her red truth is valid. What an elaborate and precise cornering. How should I make a move against her? da da. Da da da. Virgilia, aren't there any moves? I cannot think of one. Well, now this is just unfortunate, ain't it? And you, Rhoda? Rip GG. Good game. Try again next year. Yada yada yada. My apologies. However, in these last thousands of years, I have never seen such an elaborately beautiful game board layout. I hate to admit it, but it is beautiful. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. What a beautiful checkmate made in red. The witch's teacher and the demon butler were both stunned. An expression of ecstasy rose to their faces. Oh boy. They're into this. Forget surrendering. They were impressed at this perfect checkmate, which simply had to be admired. Stop feeding her ego. She don't need it. When people accept defeat from the bottom of their hearts, it gives rise to neither regrets nor humiliation. Is that so? I don't know about that. Nothing is born except feelings of respect. I no longer knew what was what anymore. There were absolutely no weak points in her red. She had said in red that all 15 people had died. She had said in red that no people existed other than the 18. In other words, no more than 3 people, me, Jessica, and Aunt Ava, existed. Dr. Nanjo was killed. And without a doubt, Dr. Nanjo's death was a homicide. He was murdered by that person openly. Yeah, but I think battlers are going to stomach being defeated like this. Oh, absolutely not. It's not game over until he's dead and in the ground. And she's saying that that person is a witch? The culprit was killed. Who killed Nanjo was not an animal or anything of the sort. That has already been dealt with in red, right? Everything other than humans has been completely removed from consideration. Even things like robots don't work. It's the 80s. There were no robots capable of that kind of... okay, whatever. I get the point she's making, but, like, literally, it's the 80s. Absolutely no factors other than humans participated in this game board. Therefore, I can also say this. The one who killed Nanjo was definitely a human, but you just did it. But you're a witch, hello? Girl, you're not making any sense anymore. She's just saying whatever the heck she wants now. So witches are humans, apparently. A human with their feet on the ground held up a weapon and killed with it, right before his eyes. However, the human may have been able to use magic. What a great loophole. In other words, it was a witch. I always thought witches were not humans. Ma'am, your story is full of holes. Literally just saying whatever the heck she wants. In other words, it was me. It was I, Dio Brando. The Golden Witch Beatrice. Because then, wouldn't she be a 19th person? Correct. She would be. So she's saying she's not Ava. And that Ava couldn't possibly be the one who killed Nanjo. But also, the one who killed Nanjo was a human who could maybe use magic, aka it was her. Totally not Ushinomiya Ava. Like, it just literally does not make sense. They're like, oh my god, what a marvelous checkmate! It's baloney. Even as Battler ground his teeth, his knees hit the floor with a thunk. Incorrect! It is not over yet! She literally just admitted she's Ava! Come on! You know, sometimes you're like... It feels like the author just forced a conclusion because it's how they wanted the story to go. That's kind of what this feels like. Like, you could still go on denying it in circles, but they want to hurry up and finish this, so they're just gonna ignore the logic. Yeah, it's like, it's not so much a plot hole, and more they're like, nah, we're just not gonna go there. However, his knees had already started to accept surrender. I didn't know his knees had a separate sentience from the rest of his body. Everything gets a vote. His hands? His elbows? This is like in, AI the Somnium Files, where sometimes the QuickTime event has you push a button for like every single joint in that person's body. So they can execute like their perfect triple axle backflip and shoot the bad guy. My least favorite parts. God, it was so funny though, when we were playing, No Sleep for Kaname Date. I literally had dreams like, this game is going to start off with a QTE. I need to be prepared so I don't shame myself, and sure enough, it starts with a QTE. Like, I knew it! I was prepared for this! Oh, did you kneel? That's right. You're already starting to understand. The Golden Witch does exist, and that Golden Witch, Beatrice, is me. Now praise the resurrection of a true witch. Would you say you read it like a book? Ho, 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 ho. Like a porn book? Maybe. it's because Date always reads the porn mags, right? I'm right? Yeah. Was making a general visual novel joke? Okay, gotcha. I have a screen cap at the scene where Date says, "Cease this nonsense." There is a clip of me playing one of the scenes in the first game where, I was like, "There's a porno mag at your feet," and I just go, "Porn!" It was funny because everyone just got so taken off guard. The influence of Kaname Date, I will never forget those playthroughs, because I swear to God, half the time I was saying the lines before Date did, and everyone was like, "Got it. Dee a 30-something perverted man." I'm like, there it is. Thanks, on. On the night twilight, the witch shall revive and none shall be left alive. Damn it. I don't understand. After being so thoroughly immobilized by the red, I don't have a clue anymore. Battler, don't lose heart. That's what she wants. You and I promised that we would fight together again, right? Or would fight each other again, not fight together. They're gonna fight each other. There's no teamwork happening here. Will you surrender here? Will you disappear in a place like this before fighting with me again? You can tell that playing with Bito is growing on him, yeah. This is like the most passionate book club. They're just debating Agatha Christie. I don't want to break that promise. However, I can't think of any way of denying her. In the first place, this isn't even a puzzle. Nothing exists outside the suspects, and all the suspects are innocent. Allegedly. Supposedly. I was told they were innocent, right? And also that it was a real homicide and that the culprit was human and that they did appear before Dr. Nanjo's eyes and kill him. I give up. There's nothing I can do. Please, Battler, don't give up. Don't lose heart. Who will play my messed up games with me? You stop thinking, it automatically becomes your loss. I'm begging you, don't lose heart. I'm cheering you on, so don't lose. This is like the sports anime scene. where everything looks rough and the love interest is cheering in the stands. I can't think of anything anymore. I find myself thinking she's gotta be a witch who must have done it with magic, which makes all thinking pointless. Beatrice is like, cease this nonsense and debate who of your family could be a killer. Honestly. She's like, we haven't finished our mystery tea party yet. You still haven't tried my cookies. The only one who can make you admit defeat is the one small kid in the crowd. Tons of mic peeking there. They don't like my Mickey Mouse voice. Rest in peace. It was just me saying Gambare, Gambare, Akira Naide. So it's like, hang in there, don't give up. Battler, listen. In the game of chess, both sides do all they can to make the other lose, so a single game takes a long period of time. However, if one side throws victory from the beginning and makes moves harmful to themselves, the game can end in the blink of an eye. That is called a fool's mate. A fool's mate is simply a strange way of playing chess in which the fastest methods of losing are considered. So it's basically mindfuckery. Opening the area in front of your own king and inviting the opponent's queen in. Even though the average game time in chess is several hours, a game can be resolved in a scant 4 moves. In other words, if both sides try to win in a fight, they are compelled to take a painfully long period of time. The fool's mate is the fastest checkmate. I mean, I would imagine if it's only 4 moves. Where's Ranger when you need him? He plays a lot of chess. But if one side decides to lose, the game can be ended far too easily at any time. When the human side stops thinking, it hands the problem before its eyes over to the witch. And even an apple falling from a tree can be immediately resolved as the work of magic. It is the same for the witch's side. Witches use the red truth. By using that, they can explain the true form of magic with humans and immediately lose. I got a bad feeling about this. You don't have to tell me that. You're telling me not to stop thinking, right? However, how should I counteract that person's perfect bright red move? For me, for humans, it's no longer possible. Is it? Impossible? If it's not impossible, then it must be possible. Is it really impossible for you, Battler? Please don't lose heart. Sorry. I've reached my limit. Well, that's unfortunate. Then again, he is only like 17 years old. He's been through a lot. This kid is not a lawyer. Even Phoenix Wright would be like... Battler scratched at the floor, crying heavily. Beato watched with a distressed face. Then she stood and spoke to the witch. I will make a move as a counter to yours. Imagine all the locks the Makatama would see into Beato. Oh my god, I think I would quit the game. Because I think the most locks you ever see in those games is like 6. There wouldn't even be chains. There would just be locks. The screen would be covered. It'd be like those games where you progressively match pieces and like a picture slowly emerges. Huh? I wonder just how you plan to cut up this perfect checkmate. How can this checkmate, one totally impossible for humans to break, be defeated by the likes of you? Well, never say never. Beatrice, you don't mean... A ghost did it, GG. That's it, that's the end. Goodbye. Indeed. If a human cannot make a move... I will assault you with a move I can use precisely because I am a witch. A move you can use because you're a witch? Uh-oh. What are you planning on doing? I will use the red to deny witches. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a little crazy. Beatrice, the lady! The teacher and the butler were both startled. I also immediately understood what it meant. To use the red that only witches could use. To use the red to deny witches. It was like using her own sword to slit her own throat. What? Hey, what are you saying? Deny witches with red? Quit talking like an idiot. If you do that, you won't get away unscathed either. She heard flip the chessboard and misinterpreted it a bit. Yeah, she's flipping the table. You are not a witch, and I am not a witch either. The road to becoming a true witch is difficult, and I have much farther to go. Very well then. Right here, right now, there have never been any witches in the first place. I will strip away this deception myself. Aren't both of us real obvious witches? Being able to use red is itself proof of witches. I don't know what the definition of a witch is to you. But if you think you alone will be able to get away unscathed, then... How could I make such a mistake? I care not. What did you say? I never did manage to become a witch. I've done nothing more than finally begin walking down the road to becoming a true witch. If what I am right now is a witch, then I'm a false witch, like you, one who is merely drunk on power. Shush! Rather than existing in that shabby form, I shall erase this form of mine along with yours, without any regrets. Are you insane? Stop it! Witch-sama, please return to your seat. Witch-sama, not even her proper name. What are you doing? Let go of me! Don't let me go! So red! Make her stop! Let go! As the witch stood from her seat and tried to spring upon Bieto, Ronov pushed down on both of her shoulders, forcing her back into her seat. And even after that, he didn't remove his hands from those shoulders. Denying witches was the same as denying magic. That includes demons such as Ronov. However, instead of running away, Ronov chose to act as the facilitator for the game and to carry out that duty for his master's sake. Beatrice, you have no regrets, right? That's my line. Sorry, teacher. Even though you taught me so much about fun magic that brings happiness, I wasn't able to use it well at all. So, I'll study from square one and start over again. I am truly sorry that you had to suffer from your stupid disciple's misconduct. I had a good disciple in the very end. Go. Do what you believe in. I don't have a clue what you guys are talking about. But I do understand one thing. And I can say this, Bieto. I don't know what you're trying to do. But stop trying to do it! You have no moves, but I have one. If we let that move get away, she will be revived as a witch in the truest sense, and this time, she will control this whole island. All nightmares will be hers to do with as she pleases, and this island will fall into the deepest hell of the evil witch's repeating delusions for all eternity. Can you permit that? Don't you care if your dear relatives are toyed with for all eternity in that witch's nightmare? Still, you shouldn't have to sacrifice yourself. This is a game between me and her. You should have to have... Blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't have to make your move and sacrifice yourself. I'll think of something. I'll surely think of a miraculous move. So don't rush into it. Oh, damn it. I'll definitely think of one, so don't rush into it. This game is cruel. The time limit for your consideration has already run out. I am now the only one who can do it. Calm yourself, Battler. I'll defeat her. I'll defeat that cruel witch with my own hands. Well, you kind of created her, so you know it is definitely your responsibility. Wait, Bieto! Stop it! Quit it! There's absolutely no need for you to sacrifice yourself. Weren't you fighting to deny me? What a strange person. Let that child do as she likes. And please, watch her until the end. But... Battler, there's only one thing I ask. Would you cover your ears? My ears? I feel like such a sadist for saying this, but Battler looks so cute when he's crying in the sprite. My ears? Why? Starting now, I will deny witches in red. I will slice up the game board that she has laid out with her red. By doing that, I will probably lose my form as a witch as well. Don't judge me like that! Don't judge me like that! I admitted it was a weird thing to say first, okay? I didn't say I want to make him cry. I just said he looked cute. If you are alone, cover your ears. That truth will not change at all. However, even so, I want you alone to cover your ears. I at least want to be a witch in your eyes. Please. Beatrice-sama? There are no problems on the witch side. Please, your move. Let go! I won't let you get away with this either, okay? She's insane! Dying and taking us with you? Stop it! Don't deny it! Stop it! How unsightly for a golden witch. Okay. Are you ready? I will remove your check in Battler's stead. What happened on the chessboard where 15 died and only 3 remained? Starting now, I will expose it in red. With that red truth, I will pierce and kill both fake witches. Beato turned around and smiled at Battler. Most likely, no one would believe that the witch who had gone into the limits of cruelty would try to leave a smile as the last expression she showed Battler. And that smile signified her last wish. Signified her last wish that she wanted him to cover her ears. Denying witches in red was the same as knowing her shabby form. Her last wish. So true. Like I've said before, it's crazy I can stumble through a sentence, but then I can say, how much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? With no problems. Father put both of his hands against his ears to protect her final bit of honor as a witch. He put his hands against his ears, rejecting the truth. Plenty of practice? No, actually. I can rap, I can say nursery rhymes, yet sometimes while reading a basic sentence, I go... And he howled, so that not even a bit of what she was saying would slip into his ears. He's turned into a doggo. After that was a world where Battler could hear nothing. Beato was saying something in red. Even the evil witch covered her ears at those bitter contents. That was the red truth. Words of power. Words that denied her own existence. Unique words that only witches could use, which denied witches. Beato spoke. With the red truth, she cut up the bright red game board that the witch had released. Cleaning up those cobwebs. She explained difficult problems that could not be solved by humans with moves that could only be solved by witches, and began cornering the witch. The truth that Battler was not permitted to hear. If Battler had broken his promise and sneakily eavesdropped, in an instant, Battler would have been able to become the victor in his game with Beato. He would probably have understood all the riddles on the island, all of the magic and tricks, closed rooms, spells, curses, legends, and this entire tale of anger and sadness. But that's for the Answers arc, and we're not there yet. However, Battler would only learn what that was when he reached the truth by himself. Yes, from the beginning, Beatrice had wished that Battler would reach that truth by himself. It was something one shouldn't reach by being told it. It was a truth that Battler would have to drag himself to by his own power. A brilliant light gathered with Beato and the evil witch at the center and grew gradually stronger. It was the power of truth. Its heart and brilliance like the sun shone on all the falsehoods that hid in the darkness, trying to deceive and brought them to nothing. Wow, that is quite the sound effect. Why? Why can you die? Why can you throw away your life when you have such incredible power? You who hold the power to control gold, magic, and everything at will. Why can you so readily throw that away? Learn that even with a mountain of gold, even with magic to split the sea, there are some things you can never obtain. Come, show yourself. Show your true form, Ushino Mia Eva. When the sun exploded and blew everything away, Eva could be seen there, holding a gun. You're the culprit, Aunt Eva. Took you long enough to notice, Battler-kun. Oh, those eyes! Without any hesitation or mercy, Eva raised her gun and pulled the trigger. As an explosive sound rang out, Battler's heart was shot through, and he fell to the floor. After going into convulsions for a short time, with blood dripping from his mouth, Battler died. But in his last moments, he realized, without a doubt, that she was a murderer. And not just for killing him. There have been many murders, and I don't have a clue how they were carried out. However, while my ears were covered, Beato exposed all of them with the red, blasting away all magic. In other words, even though I don't understand it, in other words, even though I didn't understand it, was that nothing more or less than proof that magic can be all explained with humans? Beato made me cover my ears. So I myself don't know the whole truth. However, now that's been denied in red, I can see one fact which is extremely unfair for us. That it is possible to deny all magic. So in other words, no, I must not think of that. If I do, then the time I spent covering my ears would be made pointless. If I'm going to regret, I can only regret my own actions. If at that time I thought of some move to spin things around and counter the witch's final move, there would have been no need for Beato to sacrifice herself. It was my own wordlessness that brought about this conclusion. Well, Ava, was the money worth it? You lost literally everything. Alright. We're in ad break, so very quickly I'm gonna run to the bathroom while I have the chance, and then we will be right back. Hold on. Hello, I have returned. One sec, one sec, one sec. Do 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 do. Meow. Ta-da! I had a little snacky snack. I need to take a break away from the computer. For those of y'all who stream, you know how hot it can get in front of all this stuff. I was starting to sweat a little bit. I'm like, I think it's time for a break. I made a whole bunch of frozen grapes yesterday, so I just munched on some of those. Alrighty, back into the mindset. Even though it was a pitch black world where nothing could be seen, for some reason, I felt Beato's presence right next to me, so I tried calling out to her. You can exchange words with someone, whether they're a human or a witch. So even in a world where witches have been denied, I should be allowed to talk to her. Ahem. Yes, Beato! Beato? Huh, Badler, is it? It is done. I did it. Yeah, I did hear it. But I watched you until the very end. I definitely saw you boldly stand up to that evil witch. With this, I am no longer a witch, but I will definitely become a witch again. And then, I will make it so that I can be called the Golden Witch again. And once again, return so that I can be accepted as your opponent. No, you were a witch. Huh? I saw it. When you took down that evil witch, it blew her away with that awesome magic exposing her true form. I saw it with my own eyes. That wasn't magic, but the red... No, it was magic. You were definitely the Golden Witch. Even if you deny it yourself, I'll acknowledge it. You are definitely the Golden Witch. When Battler said those words, in the world that had been dark, there was suddenly a single grain. A small grain of gold, like a wheat seed, shone brightly. And even though it was small, it had a strong gold-colored sparkle. Then it shone on the two of them, sitting with their backs together. You could have at least made the sprites face different directions. So they each became aware of their own form. They did not exist only as consciousnesses. They became aware that they had bodies and definitely existed. No, perhaps we should say that they each had been given an existence called a body. When Badler looked at his own form, he wasn't that surprised. But when Beato looked at her own form, she was a little startled. From Badler's perspective, she looked just like normal, but for a short while, she was surprised by that form. What is going on? The sparkle from that grain of light is slowly getting stronger. The grain of wheat was no longer simply gold-colored, but was like the light of the sun. Then it softly began to approach Beato's chest. When that grain of the sun was sucked into her chest, what the heck was that noise? The world was wrapped in a deep blue sky, and then a deep blue ocean was spread out below them. island rose up, trees sprouted and created a forest, walls surrounded us, and a ceiling swallowed us. And with pouring uncooked rice? That's kind of what it sounded like, yeah. It was adorned with more and more things, made to be like the hall in the Ushinomiya mansion. In the middle of the fantastical hall, where many gold butterflies beat their wings, many tables were set up with white tablecloths, like it was a party. And beautiful cooking and fruits were set out. And over there were a great many shapes. It was everyone talking together and smiling. Everyone. Oh. There was Dad and Kirei-san, Uncle Kraus, Aunt Natsuhi, and Aunt Rosa, and of course, even Aunt Ava and Uncle Hideyoshi. George Aniki, Jessica, Maria. Wait. Even Shannon-chan. Kanon-kun, Goda-san, and Kumasawa-san are here. Everyone was at the party, clapping their hands and celebrating our return. Apparently this was all just a play. Why? Even though everyone was dead. Why are they alive? In the Golden Land, the souls of all the dead can be revived. Welcome back, Beatrice. And welcome, Battler-kun. Welcome to the Golden Land. I made it? I made it. To the door of the Golden Land? Yes. Milady, you have finally managed to invite everyone here. Welcome, Battler-sama, to the Golden Land. What? Grandpa! Battler, so you have finally made it this far. Grandfather, I haven't seen you in like 10 years. Where in the world am I? My blood, which is incompatible with magic, runs most deeply in your veins. Therefore, you are the only one who could not reach the Golden Land, and Beatrice has been searching for you this whole time. She tried everything to bring you here. What did you say? Battler-sama, if you would take your seat, tonight's dinner is my very best work. If you would please relish it. You should be honored. Normally I would have eaten all of it, but I left you some out of gratitude. The 7 steaks Nachons. The Golden Land, all of those with minds are equal. Here, there is no distinction between us furniture, humans, and witches. Battler-sama, we were waiting for you. Welcome to the Golden Land. Shannon-chan, George Aniki. I still feel like this might be a dream. We should have died. This is too good to be true. But I'm alive. And everyone is here and happy. I can't believe it. That's right, this place must be a dream world. So it must be a dream that George is acting so friendly with the girl. Oh, come on. Now I really know this isn't actually a happy ending. Could you give it a rest, Ava? For now, you gotta stay quiet and bless the 2 young'uns. The Golden Land is a city of bliss. We should for a quarrel here. Here, any people are free to love each other. Maybe this is relatively chill, Ava. I guess. Jessica-chan, Kanon-kun, you look so wonderful. I'm jealous. Hey, I'm a little... Battler-sama, welcome. And welcome home. Jessica was probably embarrassed because she was holding hands with Kanan-kun. Aww. Kanan-kun wanted to act humbly like a servant and bow, but since neither of them could let go of the other's hand, he couldn't do it so well, and the whole scene looked rather comical. What is servant? Ah, it's hardly a big deal, correct? Let her at least choose the person she likes. Jessica, you can't either judge. Oh my god, these mothers. As Aunt Natsuhi and Ava hugged each other, they cried tears of regret for their adorable children, even though they had always been at odds. It was a bizarre scene. It isn't really a problem, right? Doesn't matter who likes who. That's right. It's proof that a parent's too attached to their child. Battler, no matter what kind of woman you bring home, I'll give her a warm welcome, okay? Don't you dare introduce her to this man, okay? He'll get his hands on her immediately. Jesus Christ! They'll run off together. Battler, you finally came! Maria, from the very beginning, you knew. Ooh! That's why I wasn't scared at all. Everyone was being a coward and trembling. It was funny. What the hell? Even though I thought you were the most screwed up, you actually knew the truth from the beginning. How rude. I cannot simply forgive you for speaking of Lady Maria in that way. The all caps? Is she a witch? Formulating firing curve. Attack preparations ready. Lady Maria, we can attack at any time. Hee. Ouch. Be quiet. You're in the presence of Beatrice-sama. Come now, no need to be so stiff. Let's be considerate of their desire to joke around and have fun. Maybe a witch in training? I guess that would make sense. Yes, preparations for my excellent mackerel cooking are complete. I can serve it at any time. Hey, you people! Work a little more like furniture. Gonna stuff myself some Come on, let's work. Don't keep the guests waiting. Let's work studiously and attend to them. Don't let the guests do anything. Make them lazy, make them slothful. Fat pigs. You don't put it that way. Like, please chill. Which sin is she? Probably sloth or gluttony. If she's talking about, yeah. Beatrice? Battler-kun? This way. Grandfather and Virgilia were standing on the landing at the top of the staircase, beckoning to us. Banto and I turned our heads to see what was going on, then climbed the stairs together. From the hall, it looked like a very high stage. A small table had been set up there, as well as a piece of parchment and an old-fashioned quill pen. I saw the strange magical characters in Japanese were written side by side. And below it, many names were written. There were 17 of them. Grandfather was the first, and everyone's names had been signed all over it. The people who arrived at the Golden Land probably signed this, one after another. Battler, now that you are here, everyone is gathered. Listen carefully. The Golden Land is not a world supported by the power of magic alone. Oh, I got a bad feeling. The cooperation and approval of all humans who receive happiness here is required. For that sake, we must gather the signatures of everyone here. Last time, the door to the Golden Land was finally opened, but you refused to sign. Although, you probably don't remember it. Because you refused to sign, this world was once again sealed in darkness. Just hearing it like that kind of sounds like I'm the only stubborn one. And that I've been a bother to everyone in various ways. That's because your stubbornness is the real deal. It seems you received more than just blood from Kinzo. Beato laughed amiably. It should have felt like she was making fun of me, but without thinking, I went along with her, laughing and smiling. Magic is a miracle. Miracles cannot be made completely unless everyone believes. And when you believed in the end, this miracle, the Golden Land, was completed. It looks like I've been a real pain. So what should I do? First, sign here. Then Beatrice, you sign here. Quill pens are pretty hard to use, huh? Whoa, it shot! You klutz. Shooting ink is a bad omen. Can't you at least write your name quickly? Your pen's wiggling all over the place like a worm. Shut up! Don't write it in katakana! Beatrice is a stylish name, so write it in cursive. You're making the quill in your name cry. Shut up! In school, don't they tell you not to use cursive on tests? Hey, this is a solemn ceremony. Be quiet. Very well. We have gathered the 2 signatures as well as the form for the covenant. Both of you, your oath, please. We'll start with Beatrice. Put your hand on the covenant and take the oath. As a good witch, Beatrice swears to continue her studies from this point forth to bring happiness to the people. Say it. Indeed, it's a little embarrassing. As a good witch, Beatrice swears to continue her studies from this point forward to bring happiness to the people. Will that do? Acceptable. Battler is next. In the same way, Battler-kun, put your hand on the covenant and take the oath. As a member of the Golden Land, Ushinomiya Battler swears to serve for the sake of his own happiness and that of his neighbor. As a member of the Golden Land, Ushinomiya Battler swears to serve for the sake of his own happiness and that of his neighbor. I'm embarrassed too. Listen everyone, here and now we have gathered the oaths of all 18 humans who accept the Golden Land. When Kinzo proclaimed that, everyone applauded at once, praising us. Since I had been the only stubborn one and had just been a pain, I felt a little bad about being the most celebrated one. And with that, in accordance with the ancient rites, we asked Battler-kun the last to make the oath to sign the invitation to the Golden Land. This is something that invites the Golden Land... this is something that invites the Golden Witch Beatrice to the Golden Land. The Golden Land welcomes the Golden Witch through a consensus of those who have acknowledged it and becomes complete. Battler, I will read it out loud. Listen carefully. The 18 of us accept Beatrice as the Golden Witch and welcome her to the Golden Land. What's going on with you? You won't be invited unless I send an invitation? That does seem to be the ceremony. It feels stiff to me. Why don't we end it quickly? I've been so hungry for a while now. Come to think of it, I've only been pecking at canned food and haven't eaten anything good. Let's quickly finish this signing. What's this? I acknowledge you as a witch? Huh? That's pretty simple. Damn you, grandfather, exaggerating it so much. Ooh. Yeah, that was suspicious. Huh? Quickly, sign. With slightly weird and uncomfortable smiles, the 2 of them started demanding that I sign. At that time, an incredible sound like that of a glass window breaking reverberated through the hall, and the bustling tumult faded back into complete silence. I dropped the quill pen and turned around, trying to see what had happened. is this Ange? I'm assuming because she's a redhead and she's got the one-winged eagle on her armband. Man, when I did, where had she come from? A human who clearly hadn't been there a short while ago was in the very center of the hall, looking up at us. Who's that? A girl? She's probably about the same age as Jessica as me. Are we dealing with some timey-wimey shenanigans? Because I think Ange was like 6 years old or something like that. So it's been like 10 years. Somehow. Unless this is time travel. But I didn't know that face. None of the other people here knew that face either. Who are you? Who is this? Where did you come from? Those without invitations are not needed at my party. At this point, why not? Pretty much. Same thing with Higurashi. Can everything be explained with magic? Or is it all just like science? It's up to your interpretation until the very last second. Servants, kick her out. As you command, surround her. The 7 sisters of Purgatory surrounded her from 7 directions, taking out magic blades that drew purple curves and blocking her. And out of nowhere, shuffling goat-head servants appeared in great numbers surrounding the girl. And on top of that, the Chaser sister stood in front of Bieto like a wall, readying a golden bow and pulling back the bowstring. But the girl didn't move at all. On the contrary, she was still staring at us on the landing, as though she didn't mind at all. Damn, she is so cool. Who was she looking at? Bieto? Grandfather? Could it be... me? Yes, the girl was staring straight into my eyes, glaring. Then, after our eyes met perfectly, she yelled, "You mustn't sign that! Are you going to accept your own defeat? Don't be tricked by the witch!" Huh? By the witch? Huh? At that time, something incredibly strong lifted me by the nape of my neck. What's going on? Yeah, it was all too good to be true. After being made to turn around behind me, I saw Frigilia with an eerie smile on her face and the muscular form of the goat monsters. A goat monster that looked about 2 meters tall was grabbing me with an arm as thick as a log. There is no need to listen to an uninvited guest. Come, offer your signature as well. On this written oath, Ushinomiya Battler acknowledges the existence of witches. Come now, sign the written oath. Ow, 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 damn it, let go! As the goat monster held me down with the power of a vice, they forced me to grab the quill pen. I couldn't even touch the floor with my feet, much less resist. Battler, why are you resisting? Weren't you just about to assign willingly? Don't change your mind now after all that, okay? Did you think for an instant that it might be okay to acknowledge witches? You thought that, right? I was tricked? That's insane. Bieto isn't that kind of... Oh, she is going through so many emotions. What's going on? Sorry, Link Battler, I am that kind of person. It's useless now. It looks like the sentimental sob stories don't suit me. Teacher, I'm counting on you to use all of your strength. That was such a plain role to play and I got so bored. I don't know who you are, girl, but I'll beat you to death, mash you, and crush you until threads start trailing, okay? I'll make you regret being born a woman? Oh my god, what does that even mean? as Beata waved her golden pipe, the massive chandelier hanging in the hall was electrocuted. And from that, a terrible purple thunderbolt fell. It should have been a direct hit on the girl right below, turning her to ash. However, not a single hair was singed. Oh, so your sudden appearance here wasn't a fluke. So cool! So tell me, state your name. I don't have any name to give you. More importantly, you idiot! How are you going to be tricked, you softy? Figure it out already. This is all the witch's trap. Those words were aimed at me. This is all the witch's trap, she says? That can't be. Beato reformed and swore to become a good witch. Beato? All this about traps. It's a lie, right? Please tell me it's a lie. Sorry, Battler. It was pretty fun. Sure, I just did what teacher told me, but look how great it turned out. Apparently, if you started out all hostile and needlessly beautiful, then turn incompetent at soft at just the right moment, you can spark a huge bump on your affection meter. Oh god. Perfectly executed tsundere. I've heard villains who start all lovey-dovey and then freak the shit out are all the rage these days. Oh, not the yandere. Even I've studied a bunch of those manga, anime, and galgame that have been so popular lately, you see. And for you, just expected it was tears, please, and you're down. Idiot. What a truly simple person. I'll call this the North Wind and the Sun strategy. That's not... As expected of the Golden Witch, as expected of the Golden Witch. Damn you, bastard! How could you trick me? Yes, that expression suits you the most. That caring expression of yours really doesn't suit me after all. She binged all the romance anime, yes. It made my back itch, and I was frantically trying not to let it get to me. Too bad, witches never reform. You take care of that signature, teacher. This uninvited guest is my prey. Come, you can no longer refuse to sign. Come on, look. Sign it and offer your body, your mind, and your soul. When Virgilia lifted her chin as a signal, the goat monsters, with an even more vice-like power, forced my arm to approach the parchment. Ow, 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 ow. These guys are trying to make me sign, even if it breaks my arm. Oh? Then a bright red light burst open with me at the center, knocking the witches and the goat monsters away. Did that girl save me? But who in the world is that? I don't have a clue. Okay, so Ange can use magic, apparently. Okay. How long do you plan to keep playing in a place like this? Give it a rest. I'm jealous of you. I'm glad you saved me, but that's a pretty cruel way to say it. Sorry, but who are you? Witch of Rokenjima, give him back! Who would do that, you fool? Battler is my toy. My most favorite toy in the whole world. Then treat him better. I won't get tired of him, I won't throw him away, and I won't hand him over to anyone. Even Battler is enjoying this to the fullest. Together with me, he is having so much fun playing. No matter who you are, I won't let you get in the way. Yeah, it looks like you're having a lot of fun. It makes me so jealous, it ticks me off. Here you are in a place like this, squawking and having a loud, noisy time with everyone. With all these beautiful witches around to pamper you, you must be having so much fun that you don't even want to go back. Are you talking to me? Wait, you got the wrong idea. This is a pain for me too. What do you think had fun. You don't know what I've been through. What you've been through? You had fun living with Mom and Dad. You played around with all the cousins, and you get to play with these wacky witches for all eternity. Don't you recognize the happiness you have? Can't you see how jealous I am of all of you? Yep, that's Ange. So much that I wish I could join in too. I'm sorry, but I'll have to turn you down there. I am satisfied with the toy I have. A rude toy like you is not fitting for my toy box. Yes, I understand. But even play with someone like you. But I will thank you just a little for letting me meet everyone like this. Who are you? You couldn't be. I see, is that it? Yes, I understand. I know who you are. I see. You are the Peace Lady Birkenstell through and how amusing. Why don't I formally invite you to my party? I'll welcome you fully along with Battler. I'll play nicely, break you, kill you, crush you, turn you to ash, mix you with bread dough, and bake you until you're fluffy. What is this, little goody two-shoes? It's useless, it's all useless. You can't do that. On the Rokenjima of 1986, I'll expose everything that happened to the light of day. Oh god, she really is Battler's sibling. She talks just like him. I'll show you that before the truth, you're like an icicle scared of the coming spring. Prepare yourself, Golden Witch! Beatrice! Oh, no! Damn! I knew the fourth chapter was gonna be the last one for the question arc, but oh my god, what a cliffhanger. And there's still the tea party, but we don't have time today to go through the tea party. That'll have to be next time. Yeah, because it's already almost 11 p.m. It is past my bedtime. Well, not technically past my bedtime, but you know what I mean. We were only able to go this long because I'm on vacation. But I have stuff to do tomorrow, so I can't just, like, stay up until, like, 2 in the morning. All of the goats. The goats. However, a victor finally appeared at the game of the Golden Witch. The victor is the new Golden Witch, Ava Beatrice. The 17 all died. When the seagull cried, there was but one survivor. Oh. Interesting. So does that mean, like, for real, Ava survived? Like, Ava Beatrice was just, like, a personification of, like, her evil actions during all of this, and because of that, she survived? Interesting. Sounds like it. Yeah, I guess we'll find out before long. Ooh. Tsubasa, complete episode 3. So that's Wayne's. So the last loop's results stick? That seems to be where it's going, yeah. Wow, that's crazy. We're almost on 4. We have to do the tea party first. But that's for next time. Alrighty, here we go. Hello. Yay! Oh my god, that's exciting. That's fun, yippee! Woohoo! Woohoo! God. When a game is so interesting and it leaves you on a cliffhanger and I'm like, man! I regret that I'm going on vacation and I won't be able to play. No! Whack. Gotta wait now. Womp womp womp. And I even did up my schedule for next week in advance. Now I'm like, do I want to change my schedule? Do I want to move UMINEKO up? I don't know. I have a few days to stew on it anyway. I'll be back sometime on Sunday, but it's gonna be too late for a stream. Seems like a good break point. I agree. Okay. Let us see who we can raid. All good if I use the guide the raid redeem? For sure. By all means. Exupine? Hopefully I said that right. Alrighty. She's also a huge gacha fan. Ah, excellent. Blue Archive. Okay. I need to get back to Blue Aka. I removed it from my PC temporarily because I needed more space, but now that I haven't installed it yet, but I bought a second SSD. I can get all my games back that I removed to free up space because I didn't play them as often. I just like having a lot of options to keep me busy, you know? Because primarily I want to play every game with you guys, so like most of my gaming when I'm not on stream is just my gacha and like MMO stuff. I still can't believe how big storage has gone in terabytes, man! Terabytes! I was joking about this earlier. Like, I can cram 12 of those, like ad-filled puzzle games on my phone, but my phone can't handle more than, like, 2 gacha games. I'm like, either these things are bloated as hell or people don't know how to optimize. Like, it's crazy. Still remember getting hyped over 256 gigabytes? I still remember floppy disks. Now, you couldn't fit a single Word document on a floppy disk, but back in the day, you could fit like your whole hard drive on one of those. Yeah, those things could pack 5. Yep. But back in the day, and also, walking around and looking at all the computer games... Like, I am old enough to remember when computer gaming was the norm, and then it went out of fashion because it was too expensive, and now it's the norm again. It's crazy what happens in like 20 years. Alrighty. It's one of the COD games I think that hit 100 gigabytes. They just didn't compress the skybox picture. RIP. My goodness. Alrighty. Big stretch. Okay. Thank you for redeeming the raid. I am gonna send y'all off to Exubi. I like that she has, what do they call it? The G, not the G-Ken. Like, you know, the The explosion girl outfit. Jiraike, that's it. Jiraike. Alrighty. That's gonna be it from me. So, like I said, vacation, I'm going to go see Mama and Papa Melis. So, I'll be on, like, Twitter. I'll probably be around on the Discord. And Mama and Papa Melis go to bed, like, super early. Like, literally 7 p.m. So, if you're not in the Discord, keep an eye, because I might ping you guys going, I am bored as hell, my parents are asleep, who wants to play Mario Kart? Fly, drive safe, thank you! Alrighty. So I will see you guys soon. For now, that's gonna be it for me. So, if it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. And if it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head on off to bed. Until next time, take care of yourself, wash your face, brush your teeth, eat a good food, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye.